Valorant has plenty of charismatic players keeping viewers locked to their screens. And there's one player who everyone either loves or loves to hate: Steel. This is his story, presented by Razor.
It's mainly just a joke because our results are so bad.
100 Thieves' bad boy Steel has quite the legacy, with an esports career spanning over a decade. Getting his start back in Counter-Strike Source, he made a splash by winning several ESEA invitationals.
Flashing oversight.
Flashing oversight.
I don't know where he is.
But this was only part of the climb, and Steel made his move to CSGO in 2012 to reach his full potential.
Oh my god.
What just happened?
That was mental.
It took a while for Steel to find his footing in the newest generation of CS. He didn't find immediate success like he did in Source, but he kept grinding, and Steel was undeniably becoming better with every event. This improvement continued in 2014, when a young org came looking for a shot caller who could help them climb to the top of North America. Steel accepted the offer, tipping the first domino that would lead to the biggest scandal in CS history as he became the IGL of IbuyPower.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing! Oh, he's doing the birdie! Oh!
Steel was the final puzzle piece for IBP, who already had a squad Valorant fans may recognize. He joined AZK, Dazed and Skadoodle, as well as a then 18-year-old Brax, who went by Swag. Steel's tenure on IBP was nothing like his first 2 years in CSGO. His new team were off to the races with Steel at the helm, immediately winning back-to-back events, resulting in their attendance at the ESEA Season 16 Global. There they would take on Europe's best in Na'Vi, Virtus.pro and NIP, along with hometown heroes Complexity.
Your ESEA Season 16 Land Final champions is going to be IbuyPower.
But with a roster that had only been together for a couple of months, everyone wanted to know how they would measure up to the storied orgs they would be taking on. Steel had plenty of faith in himself.
Right now our scrim record's 32-1-1.
The young IbuyPower squad came out swinging, putting down team after team, dropping only a single map against VP before beating Complexity in the upper and grand finals. Cementing themselves as the peak of North American Counter-Strike and an absolute contender on the global stage, IbuyPower were flying high, and the squad knew it.
Short of a miracle. Ball down in. It's two ops trying to answer. There it is.
Meanwhile, drawing an equal amount of adoration and ire, Steel was riling up the community with trash talk and even a little bit of toxicity.
Once mid.
No!
Why are you running in? Why?
The next few months would see this fan-favourite squad honeymoon phase come to an end, petering out locally and internationally. Falling short at ESL 1 Cologne, IbuyPower were brought back to earth.
Snacks ends this match with a knife, and that is it. It is over. Tans does not look pleased, but they get the job done. Second seed picked up by VP. IbuyPower, they've got a long flight home.
Steel & Co searched for a flash of their former greatness at the Face It League Season 2, where they found themselves in the grand finals. But their opponents were the Olaf Meister and Crims-led Fnatic, one of the best teams to ever come out of Europe. Steel was undeterred, clashing with Fnatic in a heated battle to try and reclaim IbuyPower's spot at the top.
Great run from Steel.
4 from Steel now. 4. YOLO mode enabled, working nicely, thank you very much as far as Steel's concerned. 2v1 now, IbuyPower on the verge of taking their first round. If only they can get rid of Olaf Meister, and they can! And Steel picks up an ace in round 5. Brilliant from Steel.
But in the end, Fnatic took the series, and Steel's dream of another huge win was over. And this loss was only a preview of the hardship that was coming his way.
4v1 now, and Swag will go down to Flusher! And Fnatic are your Face It Season 2 champions.
Steel moved on to a new team, but fast approaching was a report that would shake the entire CS community to its core and change the esport forever. In a report published in early 2015, there were allegations of match fixing in the game between the former IbuyPower roster and netcode guides during Season 5 of the CSGO Professional League. IBP suspiciously lost to a team that they should have handled easily.
And Tarek shuts it down, netcode guides beating IbuyPower.
There were multiple pieces of evidence against the former IBP players, including a massive influx of skins to their accounts following the loss, as well as screenshots from Shazam in which he was told the match would be thrown.
I had the conversation, the log, which was verified as genuine, from Shazam saying the game was a throw. I had Shazam basically saying, I will go on the record and tell you everything.
The ramifications of the report were swift and stunning. Less than 2 weeks after it was published, Valve released a statement titled Integrity and Fair Play, in which it banned all but one member of the ex-IbuyPower roster from all Valve-sponsored events indefinitely. Other tournament sponsors followed the Valve ban with their own. Steel was removed from his team, and his 5 years of work had vanished before his very eyes. With his career effectively reset back to day one, Steel began looking for other options. He tried out Overwatch and played under the Splice banner prior to the Overwatch League franchising, but he only lasted a few months in Blizzard's game.
Widow's up, the widow's up, the widow's up!
Did you
Heal me, Lumberjack! Got 20 health! I'm calling for the heals!
Lucia's off the map?
They have walls.
Yeah,
they have walls.
I knocked them
they
off
have
the
walls.
map.
Then it seemed that Steel would potentially be granted a second chance at CSGO, as his ban was partially lifted. While he still wasn't allowed near any Valve-sanctioned tournaments, his sentence was lifted from ESL and ESEA events. So Steel found himself back where he left off, with Talked reforming and Steel looking to rehabilitate his image in any way possible, from playing at every event he could get into, as well as spending time on the broadcast side as a commentator. And his efforts were largely successful. Rebuilding his image in the community, Steel's transgressions were mostly forgiven by fans, but Valve didn't relent on their ban. After many long years and with no end to his restriction in sight, Steel officially announced his retirement. But with the sun setting on his career game, a new title was fast approaching on the horizon. Steel switched to Valorant and was quickly snapped up by 100 Thieves, who were looking to cement themselves early as a premier North American squad, led by CSGO veteran Hiko. With two of NA's most legendary IGLs on the team, 100 Thieves had an immediate edge on the competition. With over 20 combined years of experience between the two, they were able to lead the squad's 3 younger members to dominance in North America. How do you think Steel has done so far? Initially, 100 Thieves' plans worked to perfection. They placed well in the Ignition series and then rose up to claim the first Strike title, Valorant's first major event.
And they have to find a way out of this situation, but it's getting worse and worse. And who better than Hiko to look to seal the deal here in this grand finals as Colors tries. He does all that he can, but it's simply not enough against 100 Thieves.
It didn't stop there. The Thieves did well throughout VCT's early stages, taking both a first and second place finish in different Challengers events, quickly becoming one of North America's strongest squads.
Here's Android on the flank in the 3v1 to try to keep the map alive, to try to keep the tournament alive, but he's gonna drop.
Steel's persona from his IBP days was back in full force, and no one, not even fans, was safe from his scathing wit. But 100 Thieves have still had their fair share of struggles, with disappointing results in Masters 1 and failing to even qualify for Masters 2.
And that's an easy defusal. MB will take the series.
But with a long break between Iceland and Stage 3, Steel and the rest of his crew at 100 Thieves have plenty of time to plan a new heist and set the record straight. The path will be difficult and the competition is stacked. It'll take a leader with nerves of steel for 100 Thieves to climb the mountain ahead of them. Luckily, they've put their faith in the right candidate.
Slamming desks, my friend, in!
Hit that subscribe button for more Valorant content.